Todd Talk. Today I want to talk about my background.
Todd Talk is brought to you by Topps Shelving Units, where everything is half off.
I've done a few of these videos, and they generally look like this, and every time you're looking at me, this is what's behind me. These guys. So I want to talk about the background. I've got a couple of these shelving units back here, and you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 holes in each of them, and each of those kind of has a special meaning. So what I want to do is just kind of show you each of those little cubbies, explain what each cubby is for, and maybe tell you a story about one of the things in each of those spaces. So let's start with this one over here. These are all weird little statues and things that I've either made or been gifted. So like this one of my best buddies brought this back from Hawaii. He just thought it was spooky and cool and thought I would like it. This one, I was part of an art show where we were all given a My Pretty Pony doll and we were supposed to do something with it. So I made a really creepy, very icky looking one. This is the chemical symbol for ammonia. And yeah, I think it's really cool. This next shelf here is just sort of some random oddities that I've sort of picked up over the years. So, you got the voodoo doll that I bought in New Orleans at the voodoo shop. That's kind of fun and cool. This here is one of those wooden boxes that's carved out of a single burl, and it has like a drawer and then like another secret drawer back behind. And in here, I keep Soviet money. This one is just a big light and my tarot cards. I do like tarot cards. I think they're pretty fun. I don't really prescribe to all of the kind of woo-woo stuff, but I find it very interesting. If you know anything about card shuffling, a normal deck of cards has 52 in it, and the number of ways that you can arrange a deck of cards is 52 times 51 times 50. It's a factorial, and that number is bigger than the number of particles in the observable universe. If you started shuffling a deck of cards at the beginning of known time, you still would be nowhere near close to all the permeations that a deck of cards could be in. Every time you shuffle a deck of cards, it is a little bit special for that person because it's in an order that nobody has ever had a deck of cards in. That's a pretty good card. Right after the COVID times, I went down to San Francisco and a bunch of the bars reopened, and I went to Smuggler's Cove, and they were just handing out little shot glasses to kind of celebrate the reopening. And so this is the shot glass that I got from Smuggler's Cove. So this one here, obviously there's a plant, and then there's some things that I've been awarded or that I've won. This here is a stein, actually functional stein, and I went to a German bar just as a stop one New Year's Eve, and they had a drawing and they drew my name and they handed me a stein. Down here I just have a terrarium that I made, and I've got some books. This one here is things from family members or really close friends. So here I've got cufflinks from the first time I was a best man in a wedding, and I've got a pocket watch from the second time I was a best man in a wedding. And these were my dad's glasses. This is sort of what I just remember him wearing all the time. Although he had several pairs of glasses, these are the ones that just sort of remind me of him. He was super blind. These here are just very interesting possessions that I own. So you might see in there a tooth that came out of my head. This is all the beach glass I've ever collected. This is actually a functional synthesizer. It has an audio out, an on-off switch, and then there's these two tiny little buttons here that change the waveform, and it's very noisy and chaotic, but it's really, really cool. These here are all magic tricks. Some of them are trick decks, things like that, some gimmicks for doing different magic tricks. I've just always really liked magic. I think magic is a cool thing, and sometimes understanding how the trick works is just as impressive. Some of the things people can do with card manipulation and stuff like that is really, really wild. So like here, you've got a deck of cards. When you fan through it, you can see like all the cards are different and all that. So you go ahead and you pick a card. So let's just shuffle through here and we'll just pick one. So we'll say like this one here. And then when I put it back together, Give it a little tap. Poof. And your card went to the top. That's pretty cool, right? Really, it's just because all of them are the 4 clubs. So this little cubby here is just all really occulty stuff. I love like the spookiness and the witchiness of occulty things. So I got the black candle and the little copper bowl and another set of tarot cards, stuff like that. I just find the witchy, occulty stuff really, really interesting and fun. And like I said, tarot cards, they're very cool as well. That's a bad card. Here I've got some more books, and then here I have a bunch of rocks. Some of the rocks are just cool looking. Some of them are from interesting places, like this one that's sort of a greenish color. This came from San Francisco, where there's lots of this kind of green rock. This kind of pinkish one, that came from Santa Fe. There was a lot of that around. It was really, really pretty, very cool. And like these 3 here, when you see Washington, D.C., this is the gravel that's all over the mall. And so this is what it looks like close up. And so that's what's on my shelves in the background. I'm not a big fan of being a hoarder. I live in a pretty small place, so anything that I keep, it has to be pretty intentional. That being said, I think it's pretty cool to have lots of little trinkets or mementos of things from your life that sort of inspire storytelling or remind you of really interesting people or moments. I know there was a lot of other stuff, so if something caught your eye or you had some questions, leave me a comment and I'll answer it.